and welcome to ACRL Season 2, Round 6 here at Spain. I think that I will be doing commentary by myself today because T-Mac has completely forgotten about the race I was supposed to commentate. So it will just be me to cover the whole race. Now we got Spice in the Red Bull filling in for Delensky, who wasn't able to turn up today. So he'll be teammates with PTR, both representing Red Bull Racing. Spain. Spain being the track that's heavy on tyre wear, so it is mostly preferred a medium hard track, but since 2020 in the F1 2020 game, you're not allowed to run the hard tyre in qualifying. Everyone will probably be setting times on the soft tyres for track position, so we'll be seeing a soft to hard strategy from the drivers. Switch on to Paul as he's the first car out on track. We might see a few cars dip out pits on medium tyres to set banker laps, just in case of them not being able to set a soft lap due to invalidations or DNFing for unknown reasons. As Paul comes around the final corner now, starts his lap across the line. As the first driver, Paul in the Alfa Romeo was teammate Rantix, also representing the other Alpha. Then we'll have Magic Cake behind, starting his lap, followed by Red Bull and a Mercedes. Paul standing in the pole sector 1 as he is the first car out on track. But Trin also out on track will be challenging that time. Now qualifying for this league, you could say it's entertaining, but it's very predictable on the people who will be on top. PTR, Mikau and Trin. PTR, Mikau, Trin, Silver, all top 4 runners, always flying over the top 4 spots for qualifying. And everyone else sorts himself accordingly behind them. But as Paul comes to the line, sets the first lap 15.498 on the soft tyre, ran out of energy across the line, so there might be a little bit more time left in that. Little bit more time left in that last corner of his. We'll have Magic coming around the corner now to set his first time. He'll be doing an 18.6, or 3 seconds slower than what Paul managed to achieve. Teleman's coming across the line now, 19 or 16.9. I don't know why I said 19. 16.9385. And then we'll have Rantix coming across the line now, who sets the fastest lap, 15.122 as the new fastest lap. And I think my game is bugging because it didn't tell me properly. We'll jump down to Tim. No, Tim is on his out lap. Sender is on his flying. We'll jump on to Sender, who's coming across the line now. Both AlphaTauri's being on the medium tyre, both going to set times directly behind each other. Both putting it in third and fourth. Miku edging ahead, 16.276, with Sender doing a 16.6. As Trin comes across the line, does a 17.9. Look, his time looks to be he might be jumping onto the medium tyre at the end of the session instead of starting on the soft. One Haas is coming across the line now to start his time. That'll be it for the remaining cars. We'll jump aboard with Tim as he is the next car on the flying lap. So 2 cars out of the 7 drivers same times on the medium tyre. Tim Pointer, purple sector 2 against Rantix's fastest time so far on the Rebels out in front. That is Spicy on his outlap. Looks like he'll be impeding Tim quite a bit through that chicane, and he looks like he did. Tim pull it into the pit straight away. We'll jump on with Spicy as he will be on his lap, but we might jump down to Lucky Goat, who's actually still on his flying lap. Come on, he is not on his lap anymore. He's in 0. That is just great. We'll jump over back with Spicy as he sets a purple sector 1. Now, it would be great if my other commentator was here. Tell me split times, but I had to forget. As it looks like Trin is just doing... Trin just looks like he's just doing laps to get used to track. 2 laps coming on the soft, so he probably won't be starting on those soft tyres. Spicy pointing in another purple sector. He's purple sector 2. He might be challenging Rantix for pole position here, as we got more cars filtering up on track. Lucky Goat did set a time at 18.643. Looks like he might set a time on the medium tyre later on in the session with Trin. And Spicy sets in 16 flat, 9/10 behind Rantix. We'll jump down with Lucky. He's still on 0% ERS. We'll jump aboard with Combined, who's on a flying lap at the moment, coming through sector 2 right now. As we got most people coming into pits. Trin still going out on those soft tyres. So my prediction is probably correct that he's just trying to get used to the track before he sets any times ahead. Combined doing at 18.3 for his first lap. I kind of forgot what times are supposed to be done here at Spain in quality. I actually forgot myself. I know it's not 16s. Combined invalidates his lap, but this is his in lap, so it probably doesn't matter. Which Alpha is on the fly. Paul's currently on the fly, goes purple sector 2. He looks to be challenging his teammate for pole position. Comes around the final corner now, runs out of energy deployment, but sets a time of 15.149. Puts it behind his teammate by only 0.02 of a second. We'll jump down to Sender, who's actually going to start his lap. Rantix coming in the pit. Mikau is finally out of pit lane on his out lap, so we'll probably jump on him later in the session, or later in his lap to see what time he will achieve. Teleman's coming into sector 3 now, around the chicane on the mini-map. We'll see what time he's able to pull. As Sender goes purple sector 1, this looks promising for the AlphaTauri driver, as he set his time on mediums beforehand. As Teleman's across the line, I don't know if he improved because I wasn't watching closely. But Tim coming to start his lap with Durando behind him on the soft tyres. Sender coming across sector 2 now. Showing purple sector 2. Looks to be challenging Rantix and Paul for the front row. And will dramatically jump his teammate in doing so on the soft tyre. As Telman looks like he might have had an incident within the start of Sector 2. Sender Pointer into third with a 15.389. Will jump all the way down to Mikau, who's coming on a lap. Let's see what he will do, if he will challenge for pole position, but it doesn't look like he's on zero energy, so it looks like he was just doing a slow lap so he can set time on the medium tire now, but he puts in 6 just on a slow lap. We will jump down to Tim on the medium tire at the moment. Tim coming around the final corner on those medium tires to set his first time after his first one was looked to be impeded. Sets in fourth for 15.691, and then we'll have Durando on the softs coming across the line now. What does he do? He does an 18.298 on his push lap. Do we have anyone else on track? Godfrey in Sector 3 at the moment on his out lap, looking to improve his time of 18.6 to jump his teammate. Let's jump on board with Spicy for the last corner. I'll look 2/10 up as soon as we jumped on board with it, but let's see how much he will jump up by. Puts into third place with 15.291. Puts ahead of Sender, reclaims third place. And almost put in second, only a 10th behind, almost a half, 10th and a half behind Paul. As it looks like Wonder Alpha Tories has had an incident. Looks like Miku's had an incident at turn 4. We'll jump on board with Magic in Sector 3, or entering Sector 3 now, see what time he's able to pull out. So Magic coming around the final corner across the line now, puts in 9 for 17.7, puts ahead of Trin now in the top 10. He will have to start on those tyres for the race unless he gets pushed out of top 10 now. Trin leaving the pit as expected on the medium tyre compound. And currently his teammate Mikau also has the medium tyre compound selected. So we jump on board with... Actually, we stay on board with Miku as he will be, I think, the first car to set a time that's currently on track. PTR behind him on the medium set. Coming across the line now to start his lap. Teleman's also coming across to start his lap. Same with Paul in the back. Let's see what time Trin. Oh, sorry for yawning, but this is like 12 p.m. over here. It started, so I'm having fun. And I have no one to bounce off. But let's see what time Trin is able to pull out on that soft, or on that medium tire, as Mikau has exited it as well. Miki's saying a purple Sector 2. Best of the rest so far in Sector 2, but it might be a bug. I'm not so sure. Coming through the final sector now. He's got a horse ahead, but it doesn't look like I don't know what he's doing now. It looks like he's stopped and gone again, so it looks like he's messed up somewhere in his lap. We'll jump on board with PTR, who's on his lap at the moment. See what time he's able to do. He doesn't look like he was on a push lap. Now he's going to be on the push lap. He does a 21, but that's not won't be to his standards at all. We'll jump all the way up to Trin, who will be the first car out of the rest to set a time. Mikael will be starting his lap soon. When the Alpha's gone extremely wide out of turn 3, not sure which one. Just might have been one Alpha's letting that teammate through, and now letting PTR through. Trin coming into sector 3, 1.5 seconds down on his Delta. That would put him in 6th place at the moment on medium tyres. But he does have a lucky goat behind him to challenge him for any position that Trin is able to gain. Coming around the final corner now. Instead of time 15.8 puts in 6th. Looks like Miku's had an incident at the fast right-hander. Lucky go putting it in 6th place ahead of Trin, so Trin's been knocked down 1. Mikael on his lap now as Silvaro has retired in pit lane, I assume. So he won't be able to set a time. Mikael going purple sector 2 on the medium tyres, so he might be challenging for pole. I didn't see how much he was up by. Granda also retiring in pits as they don't think they'll have enough time to get on track. Miku DNFing in sector 3, I believe. Mikael coming across the line now. That was a 14.8, 3/10 faster than Vantix on the soft tyre. Jump board with Magic because I want to see where Miku DNF. It looks like Trin's also had an off at the fast right hand, but he's gone like straight on. So that is interesting to point out. We got PTR behind on the lap on the medium tyre compound. We got Magic and Combined both on our laps. PTR gone purple sector 2, so it looks like he'll be challenging Mikael to pole position. Spicy starting his lap. It looks like Lucky might be heading into pit lane, and he does. So Magic will be the next car across the line. No, that'll be Combined across the line to start his lap. PTR will be the first car across the line to finish his lap. Let's see what time he's able to pull out of the bag. 14.936, 1/10 slower than what Mikael was. Sender coming across the line now to start his lap. And we have that pull as well, but he's invalidated last corner, so his lap is invalid. And Mantix, who will be challenging for pole positions for the Alfa Romeo team against Mikael. Mikael coming into pit lane, deciding to call it now. Jump on board with Ferrari of Magic, who's actually invalidated, so we'll jump back. I think it's Spicy will be the first car of the remaining pack to finish their laps. So we'll see what time Spicy is able to come up with in response to PTR. Mikael on those medium tyres. It looks like he's invalidated into sector 3 though, so his time will be invalid. He does a 15.2. That would have put him... Actually, I don't even know. I didn't fully look at it. We'll jump to Combined anyway. 1.1 seconds up on his time. That might put him in the top 10. We're not sure. He puts in 11th, 2/10 slower than Miku on the medium tyres. Now let's jump up to Sender, who's actually invalidated his lap. We'll jump up to Rantix. Coming as he looks like he's just got impeded by his teammate through sector 3. Not sure what happened there. But that will be your starting grid. Mikael will take pole with PTR starting alongside, so it will be a pad front row. We'll see how well Mikael's starts are compared to PTR's. We have seen it in the past that Mikael is able to get better starts than PTR, but they were both starting on the same tyre, and they got 4 drivers behind them starting on softs. We got Rantix, Paul, Spicy, and Sender, all good starters, and they're all starting on soft, so they might be in a bit of trouble before turn 1. Then we got Tim, Lucky, Trin, and Miku for the rest of the top 10, all starting on medium tyres. Combined finishing in 11, trying to put in a medium time for the top 10, doesn't quite do it. Sits at 2/10 behind Miku. Then you got Talisman, Magicate, Gurando, and Silver, the bottom 14 or 15, I think it was, said they were not being able to put a time in to set or not being able to set a lap. Not sure why. Might have had some technical issues during qualifying. Now, I'm just gonna do this. While they're doing formation lap, I am gonna set up my wheel so I can actually spectate properly. So, formation lap start. That's my hand. Formation lap signed as predicted pit stop strategy, a soft or medium to hard strategy for the medium runners so far. I'll set all the overlays up in a minute. Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to. Now I'm all set up. I'm comfortable. But my thing's not aligned correctly. Oh well. Okay, let's have a look at what everyone has chosen. So, top 10 is not able to change their tyres, so top 10 is locked to the qualifying tyre that they set their time on. So Mikhail PTR will be starting medium tyres, Vantis Pool, Spicy Sender all starting the soft, everyone else behind them on the medium tyre. What's up, Mauser? Are you racing today? Yes, I will be racing today. I don't know how fast I'll be though, because my hand is in extreme pain at the moment. By everyone, the bottom 5 of the top 10 combined, Talisman, Magic, and Grando and Silver all start medium tyre. They'll all be the fresh medium tyre, depending if they chose the balance setup. Or balanced tyre set. See you in a bit. Yep, I'll see you after this race finishes. As the camera angle is not helping me whatsoever. Alright. And I think my game's glitched anyway, but who cares? 4 or 5 red lights. We're waiting for the start to go out, and away they go. It looks like PTR getting a great start on Mikhail, but Mikhail having the better second phase of the start down pat. The soft runners at the back not being able to capitalize on the front 2 medium runners in front of them being on medium tyres. Looks like we got a few people going side by side. PTR, Mikhail and PTR going fairly close to each other. Looks like we've had carnage in the back. It looks like Lucky Goat has been hit off. It looks like Miku's also suffered it quite a bit in turn 3. We've had carnage turn 1, 2, and 3, and we've had a 5-second penalty dished out to Tim in the Williams car, and that will be served on his first pit stop. So we've got more carnage in the back as I see that some people will go side by side for turn 5. We'll jump down to Silver, who is in the mid-pack of the medium runners at the moment. Might jump down to Tim, who will be... actually, I want to see if Miku has any damage to his wing, because he looks like he went off at turn 3. Doesn't look right, so Miku currently clean. Looks like Lucky picked up a lot of damage, so he will be having to 2-stop this race on this medium-hard strategy. And we already got a 2-second gap building between the top 7 and top 8, or top 7 and bottom 8. I can't talk today at all. Magic K being the lead throw for the time being, but it looks like the throws are switching positions down the straight. Combined diving it down the inside of Magic, but having to cut the corner quite a bit. Magic falling quite far back on his teammate within the first few corners. Now it looks like Tim's going to have a shot at Magic into turn 4, or nudges Magic wide a tiny bit, but wasn't able to get the space needed for the inside dive, as Richard has put on the hard tight and repaired his wing, and is now leaving the pits. It looks like Miku is going side by side with Grando, and now passing at turn 6 and 7, now coming up to turn 8. We'll have Silver on the back of Tim for the time being. We might jump up just a bit to see how Trin is doing against the soft tires that are ahead of him. Miku late braking on Talisman and gets it done at the hairpin. Now he's behind Silver for 11th. All these drivers find over 9th position at the moment, combined able to build a 2.3 second gap on his teammate. Mikhail Sander fast lap 18.613. We'll jump up to Trin for the time being. Looks like he's holding in just into DRS zone of Sender on the soft tires. That looks like he will lose it this lap if he doesn't use a little bit of energy on him. Jump back down to the bottom 9, because this looks to be a feisty battle. Silver sends it around the outside of Magic at turn 3. Bold move by the harsh driver, gets pushed wide by the Ferrari driver nonetheless, and Miku's able to capitalize off Silver being pushed wide. He tries to send it down the inside of Magic, but had that held, and then sends around the outside of turn 5, I believe. Now he's leading the pack in turn 6. Tim already making 1.6 second gap, but Miku will be able to lower that gap due to being in front, and Magic and DRS being enabled to slap. Everyone will have DRS if they're within 1.5 seconds of the car ahead, or the 1 second, I don't even know. This is the problem with one commentator. I talk about much now. I don't think. It's just the worst. PTR, Santa Fossil 18.485. He's still in DRS, so that DRS might have helped him with the faster lap. It looks like the medium runs are starting to drop off a bit. Vantic's 1.6 behind PTR, who's running a medium tires. Trend looking like he's able to catch up quite a bit now. Only 5/10 behind Cinder, but Cinder has DRS on pole in front. We might jump up to Trin, Stumble with Trin as he is catching the soft runners on those medium tires, so that might lead to suspicion on the soft tire running out of tire life already. And I'm pretty sure the pit window for soft tires is around lap 8 around here. I jump back down to battle for 12th. Magic Cake, who was seen in 8th at the first few phases of this phase, has dropped down all the way down to 12th place at the moment, outside of the points, and is getting attacked by Talisman and Gurando. I'm pretty sure Magic Cake being the early driver on the keyboard input device, while everyone else is either on control or wheel. Keyboard not being the preferred choice, as its inputs are delayed compared to control and wheel. You can't be as precise on the steering and throttle. Trin at the moment holding his own against the soft drives ahead of him. Bull picking up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. That would have been through turn 6 and 7. They come down to the hairpin now. Trin looks to be finding his groove and currently matching the soft runner's pace, but that might be because the soft tires are starting to go off. We'll jump aboard with PTR, who's falling behind Mikau quite a bit. 7/10 of gap now, as PTR also sets the fast lap 18.271. down the straight. PTR able to decrease that gap by 4/10, but picks up a penalty for cutting turn 2. We'll jump back to Trin. It looks like on the map that was a battle for 5th place between Paul and Sender, but not really. We'll jump on board with Tim, who's actually on the back of Combined for 8th place. As I don't recognize that name of the person that just joined. That is great. I might jump back up to Trin in the DRS zone to see if Paul will make a move on Sender ahead. So Paul with DRS not able to gain much time. Trin also not gaining much time, but able to gain a lot more time under braking due to Trin's tyres being in a much more better shape than the 2 soft runners ahead of him. Trin having a lot more grip on his tyres than Paul and Sender ahead. It's like Magic has had an off at their hairpin. It lets Teleman's through. Now Teleman's in 12th place. Sender's deciding to call and pits for the hard tyre, I assume. So we jump on board with Tim, who's gone side by side with Combined down the main straight. Tim pulling ahead due to the DRS down the main straight. And we might jump on board with Trin, who's making a move on Paul before turn 4. Gets the move done nice and early. Takes the optimal racing line. And now Paul will just have to sit behind as Trin is the faster car on the harder tyre than him at the moment. It's like Mikau and PTR are doing fine, pulling the gap to 3rd place at the moment. Currently Trin seen in 5th, but is basically in 3rd place so far. Sender rejoining Circuit after pitting. It's rejoined in 13th behind Magic. Let's jump down to Sender to see how he gets through this pack of 3 cars. As we look at the map, do we see any response from the pits before? We got Spicy in the pit now for the hard tires. Sender sends it around the outside of Magic. We didn't get a great camera angle from the game to view that from Miku picking up the 3-second pen. Spicy putting on the hard tire. Sender opting for the medium tire choice instead of hards. So this will be very interesting towards the end of the race what Sender tire strategy will lead him to. As BTR tries everything to get past Mikau as Grando overtakes the Magic in the back. Spicy able to come out of the pit lane just before the pack of 4 cars arrives to him. You won't hear me talk for a bit because I just got messaged on Discord and I need to find out who. But we will. Who's close to each other except Sender's the closest one to overtaking. Currently in DRS, overtake on and goes on the inside of the hairpin. Gets the move done before the hairpin, looks like it. Doesn't give me a great camera angle. Forces Telemans to the outside of the hairpin. Not great move by Sender, forcing the Mercedes to the outside to make his overtake worth it. Now we've got Paul in pit lane for the Alfa Romeo team. He will looks like to be put on the hard tyres. Let's see where Spicy comes out. Where Paul comes out in regards to everyone else. Looks like Paul has rejoined the track behind Sender and Spicy, and they're both behind him beforehand. Why is my thing not connecting? Hang on. Just 1 minute. I want to find out why this ain't connecting. PTR currently on the back of that Mikau still for 1st place. They've been at this for a while. So as we got Antics in the pits now for the soft tyres. Now he'll be switching to hard tyres to make it to end. Why is connection problem? What? What do you mean? No, I'm just all sorts of confused. I'm probably gonna have to alt tab to find out what that message is. But the gaps at the moment are getting reasonably large. Spicy able to get on the back of Antics. At the moment, it looks like Paul. Actually, when did. Was it Paul that came? I don't even know. Was it Paul that hit first or was it Antics? I can't remember. Commentating. This is just great when you can't remember something correctly. Now, I'm gonna alt tab. Let's jump up to PTR first because he's on the trail. I want to see if PTR gets close enough for an overtake. 2 3-second penalties have been given out to this man, and I think Silver pick up a 3-second pen. PTR again extremely close into turn 1 on Mika, but not able to get the move done. We'll jump all the way down to Spicy, who's throwing up a move on Mantis, but I want to quickly see who messaged me. Ah, it's teammate. Okay. So my other commentator literally just messaged me just then on Discord. As I think he's saying that he was able to do today because he got extremely tired and fell asleep for a good hour and completely forgot, and now he doesn't want to join it 11 laps in. So fair point to him. So I'll be running this solo for the rest of the time. We got a battle pack for 8th place between 3 cars, Sender, Spicy and Vantic. Sender on the medium tyre, cutting the corner of turn 7. Sender being on the medium tyre will have to pit again in this race because the soft medium strat does not work around this track. As PTR has decided to pit off those hard tyres. Now switches off the medium tyres, now switches to the hard tyres. Mikau and Trin decide to continue on those medium compound tyres. 11 laps old into this race. PTR leaving the pits now. Early gain out in third. 2 seconds ahead of combined now. So not a bad position to be in for the Red Bull driver. Spicy again extremely close to Rantis, but not able to pull the trigger on the overtake. We got Tim, who also pitted and now is leaving pit lane on those hard compound tyres, so that is his pit stop done. As we got Lucky, who has almost caught up to Magic at the back after taking early wing damage and having to pit on the hard tyres on lap 1. Don't know why the game says his tyres are 3 laps old when he pit lap 1. What was that? Looks like Sender tried to send it down inside. According to the map, might have been wrong though. So it looks like Mikau has decided to react to PTI, and let's see what the gap is between Mikau and PTI. Is a 1.4 second gap between both drivers, but that's going to come down. It's now 9/10 between the 2 drivers, both being on the hard compound tyres. So Mikau only having half a tenth or a tenth to pull out from PTR, so he's not able to get the Earth. Trin still on those 12 lap old mediums. Will be probably pitting soon for the hard tyres, and we've combined Silver and Miku behind, which will promote Rantic Spicy and Sender to 4th, 5th, 6th. Rantic's having a bit of moment through turn 4. I wasn't able to catch her because I was about to yawn and I stopped myself from doing it. Paul being 5 seconds behind, but he will be promoted once Sender decides to pit, as he's on the medium compound tyre, which will not last the whole race, so he will be making another pit stop. So looks like Tim's had an off on the exit of turn 7, 20 laps remaining of the Spanish GP as Trent decides to pull the trigger and pits. Same with Combined and Miki, so 3 drivers in the pit lane now. Silver deciding to stay out, and we got Spicy, Sender and Rantix all coming past now. Let's see where Trent exits out compared to these guys. So Trent coming out of pit lane 1.2 seconds behind Rantix, Sender and Spicy. Trent was far back off these few drivers, but since they've been fine, Trent able to make some ground. A few drivers with 5. I don't know what's happening now. I'm like yawning every 2 minutes. Teleman's having a 5-second penalty to his name. Will be showing his penalty in the pit. Everyone else, I'm pretty sure, has a 3-second penalty, I think, as Sender tries to send it around the outside of Spicy, but Spicy had it covered off at the hairpin. Mika and PTR both trading fast like PTR sending the 17.7. Tim exiting the pits on new medium tyres, so that could suggest that he had to pit for a new wing as Vantic picks up a 3-second penalty. Same with PTR. Silver has pitted for the hard tyres, now again off the mediums, and let's see where Silver will exit out in regard to everyone else. Teleman's also coming in pits to serve his 5-second and switch his tyres. We got one driver left, Garando, who will need to serve his pit stop still. Magic K coming into pit lane now to get off those tyres. Sender being in 4th place, but we'll have to pit at some point due to the wear that those mirrors will be on near the end of the race. We were seeing the front medium runners pit lap 13 or 14, so Sender will probably be pitting in the next 6-7 laps off onto another set of mediums, probably, as the hards will not be a viable choice anymore, as Tim has decided to retire from the session. Tim retiring in pit lane, so that might eliminate a safety car being brought out as Rantix gets a better exit than Sender out of the last corner. Goes down the inside to turn 1. They're still side by side through turn 1. Sender having the outside, now he'll have the inside for turn 2 and holds the position against Rantix. Has a whole racing line to himself for turn 3. As Garando has now pitted, Tim's AI car is deciding to come back on track, so that might cause a safety car or a VSC. As one of us approach him at rapid speed. Not sure if we have ghosting on though. I can't remember. But Sender leading the pack of 3. Sender losing DRS to Spicy ahead of gap is now 1.1 seconds to Spicy. PTR losing DRS to Mikau. Now gap is 1.9. PTR now is losing over to raw pace from Mikau. Mikau has the better race pace over PTR. As Silver is on the back of Combined for 8th place. We might jump down to Trin. Let's see if Trin has a good exit of the final corner to grab Rantix down the straight, but Rantix does have DRS on the car ahead. The Trin is coming like a bullet against Rantix. A late braking touches Rantix, gives him a bit of a nudge though. Rantix able to hold the place. Nice save from the Alfa Romeo driver to catch that slide. Trin doesn't look like he was able, or doesn't look like he was able to pull up the car fast enough to avoid Rantix, as I think Trin thought he would try a move down the inside of turn 1 against Sender. Now Mikhail is starting to pull the gap to PTR. Mikhail putting the foot to the floor at the moment on the hard compound tire. They will be finishing the race on this compounded tire. Sender will be having to pit again. Like he might get away with it, but he might have to pit, as he did pit lap 1 for those hard compound tires. So I'm not so sure. As Antics just buying time behind Sender, as Sender has a penalty to his name, and Antics probably knows that he will have to pit again, but since he's doing so, he is losing time to Spicy ahead of him. The gap is now 1.7 to third place. Red Bull currently having a great performance, second and third respectively. This is great points for both drivers and the constructors table. Currently McLaren are dominating constructors over the rest of the field. I'm pretty sure. I didn't check it last time. Might have a look after the race, see the results before they're changed next week. Decides to make a move on Spicy ahead of him. Goes down the inside of turn 1, gets a move done, forces Sender to take a wider line. This might give Trin an opportunity into turn 4 though. Trin overtake on down the inside of turn 4, forces Sender to take the long way around of turn 4. Let's see who has the better traction. Bit of a wheel bang on both drivers. Trin getting forced onto the grass by the AlphaTauri driver. Might be a few words said from the McLaren about that one, because they were side by side into the corner. Now let's see Sender having the DRS off Rantix on the back straight, but let's see if it will have the DRS onto the main straight, and that will give opportunity to Trin if he doesn't, as Sender is not holding a lot of ERS compared to Trin at the moment. Trin's sent on 80, Sender was sent on 35. As Trin's car looks a bit unstable through the corners. Not able to ride the curves as much as he wants. And then here we go, Sender under attack from Trin. While Sender do only one defensive move. Trin down the inside, gives Sender the outside, but Sender gone off track. Trin gaining the place. As if Sender overtook off track, he will have to give the place back to Trin anyway, or that would have been a penalty for the AlphaTauri driver. And now Trin sent his eyes back on Rantix. Sender will be looking to hopefully stay on the back of Trin ahead of him. Or Sender might be thinking of pitting now off those medium tires to get a more grip, as the grip loss is starting to take effect right now, as Mikhail has gained a 1.4 second gap over the last time we talked about it. Now the gap is 3.8 to PTR's. Paul has picked up a penalty, and Miku has DNF'd, and that's out of turn 8 exit. That is into the right hand wall of turn 8, and I this is just yellow flag. We're not sure. And we have it. We have a safety car. Now, this will bunch up the field. We'll see what the drivers decide to do. We've already got Send in the pits. As he was going to pit anyway, we had Paul, I think, no, Sender combined, Silver and Lucky all into pit lane at the moment. Now we got Mikau, who was building an excellent gap to PTR. Now that's going to be diminished on the safety car restart. Let's see what tyres the teams will choose. We are seeing medium tyres for the 4 people that have pitted so far. Teleman's not deciding to pit as his hards are still quite young, so he might have some grip left in him. What does Mikau decide to do? Mikau decides to pit. Let's see what PTR decides. PTR also decides to pit behind Mikau, so Mikau coming in for medium tyres. Same with Grando ahead of him, also on the medium tyres. And PTR would expect, yep, medium tyres, so this will probably be a medium tyres for the rest of the field. As Trin, who started, Trin picking up damage on Rantix coming into pit entry, tried to avoid it by swerving a bit to the left. I'm not sure if Trin picked up a penalty for that though. But Trin will be having to repair his wing, and he might actually get jumped by Paul behind him now. That's coming past. We'll see. Sender coming across the line now will be overtaking Trin in pit lane, so Sender back ahead of the McLaren driver. Paul actually opted in, so Rantix and Paul actually opted in for the softer. I'm not sure if that will make it. It is 11 laps to the end, but most of these laps will be done under safety car, so they might make it. Everyone else being on medium tyres. Magic and Talisman not opting to pit, but now I would also say that Talisman has now pitted, so Talisman into the pit lane, probably for a set of mediums. See what Magic does for his tyre choice. I say that safety car will be out for a maximum of 3 laps or more, as this field is actually quite spread out to the lead cars. Magic decided not to pit, jumps Teleman's in pit lane, so Magic now in 11th, Teleman's being dropped to 12th. Now the safety car does affect penalties for the end of the race. We got 6 for PTR, 6 for Paul, and 6 for Talisman. Rantix and Silver and Sender all having 3-second penalties. And all the other drivers been clean so far, so the drivers that are currently holding those penalties to the lanes will be jumping up the order quite a bit at the end of the race if it stays like this for another 2 laps. But I think that Magic, Talisman and Commando will catch up by the end of this lap to the safety car. It might be lucky to get another lap of safety car. If there's another lap of safety car, Rantix and Paul would be in an ideal spot. But Paul has been pushing on those soft tires to catch up to the safety car queue at the moment, so I'm not sure how his tire wear is looking. Now, since it's safety car, I am being messaged quite a bit. I am just going to Alt-Tab. Let me jump back to the game. Currently, Mikau leading the pack on safety car and will be controlling the restart probably at next lap as we are going again going around one more time, waiting for Magic to catch up to this pack. Magic actually, I don't know what's happening at the back, but there's position changes happening at the back for some reason. Told Man actually being led through by Magic for some reason. Not sure why. Now Trin in 6 will be under a little bit of pressure as Paul behind him is on the soft tyres. But Paul's tyres and Rantic's tyres might be going off quite a bit at the end of the race, due to tyre wear that this circuit presents to the drivers. As this will probably be the final lap of the safety car, so we'll only have nine laps of racing to go from here, or 8 laps. Safety car is in this lap, so Mika will be controlling the pace for the safety car restart. So here we go for safety car restart. Mika controlling the pace of the field. Now my hand has just gone into a lot more pain since I've done that. Why don't I do? Crap. That's gonna be useful for later. So PTR actually on Mikau's gearbox, waiting for Mikau to decide when to go, and it looks like he has decided. He has pulled the trigger on the final corner. PTR having great reaction time to Mikau's restart. Rantic's not so much. Looks like Paul might get Trin down the straight, but Trin looks like we got around the outside of Sender at turn 1. Bit of contact between the two drivers, and it looks like Trin is in the wall now. So Trin's now got damage to his front wing, and Sender has also gone off. So both drivers have dropped back to 12th and 13th. As PTR has made a position up on Mika, we have missed it because we were watching the fight between Sender and Trin. So Mika dropping behind PTR now. Rantic's behind closely on the soft tyre, so Mika needs to watch out for Rantic's on that tyre. As we have gaps opening up. Lucky and Silver both hunting at the throat of Combined, who is dropping behind quite a bit to the cars in front. Paul being on the soft tyre is able to stay with the lead 4 cars. PTR already making quite a bit of a gap to Mikau, 6/10 gap to Mikau at the moment, but PTR ran out of energy towards the end of that lap. 16.7 fastest lap for PTR, as Durando got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. As we see Trin at the back coming in for wing damage repairs, so Trin will not be happy when we finish this race, as PTR is using all of his energy to get out of range of Mikau from getting DRS, as Mikau has dropped Rantic's behind him. As Lucky and Silver both still on the back of Combined for 6th place. Grando on the back of Magic for 10th at the moment. Trin exiting the pits now on soft tyres and a new wing. and he'll probably be going for fastest lap to deny PTR gain an extra point, but we'll see as DRS will be enabled this lap. Mikau staying in within that 1 second of PTR will be getting that DRS. PTR gone 16.452 fastest lap now. 3 tenths faster than the last lap. We got Richard on the back of Combine now before turn 1, side by side all the way down to turn 1. Let's see who has the better line. Combine being forced to the outside, tried to make a switchback on Lucky, but Lucky had that all covered and made the move complete before turn 2 even happened. Now Combine's in a half sandwich between both drivers. Silver currently having a 3-second penalty to his name. We'll jump back up to Mikau because this will be the battle for first place for the win. But PTR does have penalties, so Mikau might be just in behind PTR at this point, because Mikau does know that he will get the win regardless if he finishes in front or not. As the gap between both drivers have stayed the same so far, 6 tenths now, so the gap has gone down a tiny bit now. DRS, since it's been enabled, Mikau might be on the attacking side instead of defending from PTR. PTR having to go defensive for turn 1 and looks he's gone way wide for turn 3, and you can tell by the light flashing on the back that he is out of energy from Mikau. Mikau having a lot more energy to his disposal will be able to make use of that on the next time he attacks. Sender already making it into 11, but had an off again at before turn 3 on the exit of turn 2. Looks like he had an off and almost hit the exit wall of turn 2. Looks like Trins are coming around the final corner now. Well, let's see what he does. He does a 16.7. That's 3 tenths slower than what PTR is currently doing. PTR and Mikau were currently side by side through the hairpin and quick left-hander, but I didn't quite see because the camera angle was helping me quite a bit. So Mikau back into the lead of this race, and PTR will be sitting behind, saving his energy for another push against Mikau. Oh, he might be doing it now. So PTR going on the inside of Mikau at the moment, getting forced onto grass a bit. PTR having the inside line, but goes a little bit deep for turn 1. Screws up his line for turn 2, but Mikau not able to capitalize on that. But he might have the run into turn 4. Doesn't quite. PTR covers his line off and takes the racing line for turn 4. Looks like Magic being overtaken by Granda at the back, as Combine is still defending from Silver, who is in 8th place but currently has a pen to his name. Cinder pitting for new tyres. Yes, Cinder pitting for the soft tyres to try to take fastest lap away from the current hole. Let's find out who is currently holding fastest lap. PTR are currently holding fastest lap, 2 tenths faster than Mikau and 3 tenths faster than Trin on the soft tyres. But Mikau going to have the benefit of DRS to help him this lap, so Mikau might use this lap as a push lap for fastest lap, as Mikau gets a way better exit than PTR onto the main straight. Let's see what Mikau decides to do. Mikau decided not to attack PTR on this lap, he might have got the move done. He might be weighing out into the second last lap. Cinder's picked up a 3-second penalty as Silver and Combined went side by side for a brief moment down the main straight. Didn't quite catch it because we were watching that Mikau and PTR go at each other for quite a while. Trin on the back of Cinder once again. We know how that ended up last time. They both went gravel, as Silver Arrow actually got in purple sector 1, so that this could be an indication that he might be going for faster lap on those medium tyres. We'll jump back up to Mikau, who's only 4 tenths behind the PTR now. Doesn't look to be attacking just yet. He might do it on this lap down the main straight. As Spicy is on the back of Rantix now. 8/10 the gap as the soft tires look to be falling off from both of the Alfa Romeo drivers. As Mikau gets an excellent exit out the back of the last corner onto the main straight, and here he comes on the attack for first place. PTR not moving as he knows he won't have a chance against Mikau's speed into turn 1. Mikau taking the inside line for turn 1. Gets the move done, takes first place away from PTR. Now PTR will be looking to attack once again. We'll jump down to Spicy, who's currently on the medium tire, currently going on the attack for Antics at the moment. See how this turns out for the Red Bull driver, as he was seen in third before the safety car. I believe there was second and third for a brief time. Now they're looking for second and third again to put both cars on the podium. As PTR looking to get very close to Mikau in that hairpin. PTR might be looking to attack Mikau down the main straight with DRS assistance. Let's have a look. Only 10% difference between both drivers in ERS levels. As here we go, PTR using all of his overtake to get so close to Mikau, as we've had an incident of turn 8. I won't shave fast lap camera. No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Commando looked to have an incident of turn 8 as Spicy goes around the outside of Rantix. Didn't quite catch it. Again, I do this every time. I did this all in China. We're watching our people fight and we missed it. Because we're too busy talking to me and Timo were too busy talking to each other about the race that we missed. Overtake that we've been watching for 6 laps. And I did it again. I was watching this overtake for 2 whole laps and didn't see it happen. Great. So, but Spicy making a Red Bull 2-3 so far. Now, Red Bull drivers will be happy with that. Good constructor points for them to put them back in the championship. With Spicy being a reserve driver, so Spicy will be earning his own points. As Trina has retired on the turn 2 exit, I don't know if that was still on board with Mikau as he's getting attacked by PTR down into turn 1. PTR gone for a late dive. The turn 1 gets spun and Trin's car has disappeared. So PTR went for a late dive on Mikau, didn't quite work out. Now he's dropped all the way to 5th. That's really hard. Now he's got Lucky on the back of him for 5th place. So PTR will be actually dropping quite a few positions now, true to what he was going to before. As it looks like PTR has had another off, this time in turn 4. So PTR actually dropping all the way down to 8th. So PTR has just ruined the second, third dream for Red Bull. Team principal is not going to be too happy about that one. Now Paul and Rantix in 3rd and 4th respectively for Alfa Romeo team. So we got Alpha's doing quite well for himself. The harsh drivers of Lucky and Silver pulling out the results as usual. I'm pretty sure this will be Lucky's first race without a podium finish, because I'm pretty sure Lucky's finishes for podiums have been 2nd, 3rds all season. This will be the first race where he doesn't gain a podium. Actually, I doubt. Why do I talk so? Why do I talk too early? So, of penalties, Lucky somehow manages to gain 3rd after again crashed out lap 1. That's just the attitude of never give up and a lucky ass safety car that helped him. That is your finishing order. Mikhail Spicy Lucky will take first, second, third. Vantage combined Paul Silver take top 7. I didn't see the rest because it switched on me. I only called the top 7, but Lucky again, extremely lucky, like his name suggests, to pick up third place after getting pushed down to last following lap 1 incident that gave him wing damage and having to switch onto the hards until the safety car came out on lap 22, I believe, or was it lap 18 that came out. Race was restart on lap 21 with everyone being on the fresh tires of a mix of softs, mediums, and one driver being on the hard tires still. But as I said, that's your finishing order. Mikhail Spicy Lucky will take first, second, third. Vantix combined Paul Silver, PTI Talisman Grander will take your top 10. Magic Sender will take the last 2, finishing as Trin and Miku both DNF. Same with Tim. So Trin, Miku, and Tim are having the worst, not a great weekend to the season, but all DNFing. Trin having the worst luck in the restart, getting hit by lag while battling with Sender. But PTR will be taking the fast lap at 16.4. He was on route on pace for second place, but ruined it quickly after he tried a late dive bomb into turn 1 on Mikhail, which Mikhail decided that he already had his racing line to that corner.